Hey there, Triple F Squad. Welcome back to another episode of Two Fools in Fantasy Football. I am Marty McFly, and with me, as always, is my boy, Tyler, the uncool fool Greer, right over here. Today, we're going to be talking about your booms and busts for tonight's game, Saturday's games, Sunday and Monday. 4 days worth of games this weekend. It's going to be money. So, anyway, take notes, take notes, take notes. Put these guys in, put these guys on your bench, and you'll win. So take it away, Tyler.
All right, thank you, Marty. I am Tyler, the uncool Fool Greer, and we are going to give you the booms and the busts for each game for, like Marty said, this Thursday, this Saturday, this Sunday, and even a Monday. So from here on out, it's going to be a fun week of football, minus Friday. So we're going to give the booms and busts. So here we go. All right, the first game we're going to talk about this week is the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders, which is the Thursday night game of the week. So the boom for this game is going to be Keenan Allen. We know that he is a little banged up, but against the Raiders' porous pass defense, Keenan Allen should have a huge night tonight. So look for him to have a nice night. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say he's going to have 8 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. So I'm going to go out there and say it. On the flip side, the bust for that game is going to be Hunter Renfrow. We feel like he's just not going to have a huge impact for the game. This is going to be a really tough game for the Carr brother. Which one is it, Marty? Is it David or Derrick?
His name starts with a D. That's all you got to say, okay?
It's going to be a tough game for the Carr boy. It's Derrick. No, it's David. No, it's Derrick. No, it's David. It doesn't matter. He's going to have a terrible game. So anyways, his receiving core is going to suffer too as well. So with that being said, Hunter Renfrow is going to be a bust for this week. So anyways, good luck to the Raiders this week. They're going to need against the Chargers. So the next game we're going to talk about is the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos. Now this game is on Saturday. This is going to be the first of a double dip. So this game, our boom is going to be Josh Allen. He has a very nice matchup. The Denver Broncos defense is ranked 10th in the secondary. Basically, every single person they have right now in their secondary is injured, so it's going to be a rough go for the Denver Broncos. Look for Josh Allen to have a huge game this week. And the bust for this game is going to be PHILLIP Lindsay. We're expecting this to be a game script game, so we feel like the Bills are going to get out to a nice big lead. With that being said, the Broncos are going to play catch-up, and so PHILLIP Lindsay is not going to have a huge role in this game whatsoever. So it's going to be a tough game. So the next game on Saturday night, the main event, as they would say, would be the Panthers versus the Packers. This game, the boom, you can pick really any Packers you want with Jones, Davante Adams, or Rodgers. We went with Davante Adams just for the fact that the Panthers have a very porous pass defense. They are ranked 23rd in the league. So we feel like Davante Adams is good for 100 yards no matter what, no matter who he's facing for the most part. But the reason why I picked him this week is he's not going to get just one. He's going to get 2 touchdowns this week. So two against the Panthers D. So throwing it out there. So that's why I put him as the boom this week. That's what put him over the edge. And we know Aaron Rodgers is right now, he is playing like a man who is possessed. He's playing like a man on fire. So we all know who his main dude is. It's not going to change. Davante Adams is going to have another huge game for you. So the bust this week is going to be DJ Moore. 2 reasons for that. Number one, the Packers are going to put their best guys on him. They're going to cover him. They're going to double him probably. And also, he's coming off the COVID-19 list. So with that being said, you don't know how he's going to feel, if he's going to play the entire game. You don't know if he's going to play part of the game, anything like that. And then also, too, with having Christian McCaffrey out again as it looks like right now, that's going to expand the role for Curtis Samuel, and it's going to shrink DJ Moore's role. So the next game we're going to talk about going on to the Sunday matinees here is going to be the San Francisco 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. This game is really tough to pick the just because the fact is we don't know how San Francisco's running back situation is, but we're assuming that Raheem Mostert is going to be – he's questionable right now, so he might play some of the game, he might play all of the game, or he might play none of the game. But we feel like one of the guys who's going to play, who's going to be successful and solid, is going to be Wilson Jr. for the San Francisco 49ers. He's the running back. So if you have Wilson Jr., go ahead and play him. He's going to be The boom this week for San Francisco, he is going to be their best running back this week. So if you got him, play him. The bust for this game is going to be CD Lamb. San Francisco 49ers have a very, very, very nice secondary. It's going to be tough for Andy Dalton to get the ball out, and it's going to be tough for him getting anything to his receiver. So this week, CD Lamb is going to have a very porous week. So make sure you put him on the bench where he belongs. And the next game we're going to talk about for the 1 o'clock games is going to be the Seattle Super Seahawks versus the Washington football team. Now, this game is going to be very, very interesting for the reason that the Washington football team has a stout defense, and the Seattle Super Seahawks have a very wonderful offense, very prolific offense. They push the ball down the field all the time. So for this one of the guys who we're going to have as the boom this week is Scary Terry McLaurin. Now, we know he's had a terrible 2 weeks, but right now it is trending that Dwayne Haskins Jr. is going to be the starting quarterback this week, not Alex Smith. What does that mean? So Dwayne Haskins likes to push the ball down the field a little bit. He likes to stare down one receiver. Alex Smith, he likes to dump the ball. He likes to stay within the 5 yards. So that is why Terry McLaurin is going to be the boom this week. And also when Dwayne Haskins was the quarterback, Terry McLaurin averaged 18 points a game. So it's all those good reasons like that. Seattle still gives up a ton of yards through the air. They've been a lot better as of late, but still, with that being said, you always want to give your number 1 receiver as many chances as possible. So Terry McLaurin's going to have a boom this week. On the flip side, the bust this week is going to be Seattle running back Chris Carson for 2 reasons. One, he's questionable. We don't know if he's going to play. I mean, he probably will play, but he's not going to get a full workload. There's no doubt about it. Carlos Hyde came in, and they basically split carries last week. So look for the same thing to happen. You know, they might have been saving Chris Carson a little bit because they did play the Jets. So they might have been cutting back his workload a little bit. But again, playing the Washington football team, they're a hard-hitting defense. They got 2 really nice running backs with Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson. So, but just be very cautious, be very aware. But just Chris Carson this week would be a guy who I would sit, who I would expect to have a full workload against that tough run defense against Washington. So now Marty's going to give you the next 6 games, starting with Chicago and Minnesota. So Marty, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. Pardon me.
Oh.
So, for the Chi-Town Bears versus the Mini Vikings, our boom this week, I'm not going to say his name because I refuse to say his name, is the quarterback for the Bears.
The who?
That's not named Bowles. I'm not going to say his name.
The who?
The quarterback for the Bears. Also, I kind of have another boom for this week. I think Trubisky. I said it.
Uh-oh.
I didn't mean to. Great.
Gotcha.
Great. Okay, anyway, he should have a decent game versus the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings defense isn't that great. They're ranked 15th against the quarterback, but I also think Mr. Robinson should also have a very good game because this Vikings are ranked 28th versus receivers. So look for Trubisky to do a few dump offs, even maybe some long bombs this game. So either Trubisky or Robinson, either one. I'm going to lead more toward Robinson than Trubisky just because I don't trust Trubisky. And our bust this week is going to be Mr. Adam Thielen for the Vikings. The Bears are ranked 3rd against receivers this year. They got their 2 good cornerbacks that are blanketing people. So do not look for Thielen to have a very good game as their number 1 guy.
No.
I think that Cook's going to be running all day. Yes, Mr. Greer.
Hey, just a nice little quick side note for you Justin Jefferson owners. Last time they played the Bears, he blew up. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay. On to our next game. The New England Patriots are heading down to sunny Miami, Florida to take on the Dolphins. So our boom this week, we believe, will be the Miami defense. Why? Because they're ranked 9th in defenses this year, and Newton's not having a very good year this year. So look for them. I I'd say at least 2 picks, maybe a fumble recovery in this game against Newton and the Patriots. And our bust this week is going to be Tua. I know he had a great game last week. Good game last week. No, he did. But guess what? Bill Belichick doesn't F around when it comes to rookie quarterbacks.
He doesn't.
Go back and look at track records. They are horrible against Belichick's and his defense when they're rookies. They're just bad.
Yep.
Plus, yes.
I'd say just go back 2 weeks ago and look at Herbert, man. They just crushed Herbert.
Yeah, 45 to nothing.
Yeah, that's all
to beat Herbert. So, and Herbert's a much better quarterback than Tua. So,
absolutely,
like bang right there. And they beat them at home, and they're playing in Miami this year, this week. So, Tua's going to be the bust. Miami defense is going to be the boom. Next game on the list, we got Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Ravens out of Baltimore. Our boom this week is going to be Mr. Lamar Jackson. Kind of look back to form last week with all his yardage and points and things and such and things like that. The Jacksonville defense ranked 30th against quarterbacks, so look for him to, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, they're the only defense.
Have another. Say again.
I'm sorry, they're the only defense that's ranked bottom 5 against the pass and against the rush. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead, Marty. Yeah.
Anyway, start Lamar Jackson this week. And some could be your semifinals to the playoffs. Some people could be having 2-week playoff schedules, which some of my leagues are doing week 14 and 15. So we have 2 weeks this week. So it's combined scores for 2 weeks. The bust is going to be this week is going to be DJ Shark. Because bust. DJ Shark, he's a busted, he's a bust.
Bye.
Baltimore, he's 14th against receivers this year. So DJ Shark on the bench, Jackson in the lineup. Next game on our list, we got the Buccaneers versus the AT going down to Hotlanta, the ATL. Our boom this week, is going to be old Chris Godwin, for the simple fact that Atlanta is 31st against the pass. Sorry, for receivers. They're ranked 31st against receivers. They're not good. TB 12 is going to be throwing all over the place. Godwin, Gronk, dump offs to Jones and Fournette. It's going to be ugly, is what it's going to be.
Be careful for Jones because there's an update right now that he's on the COVID-19 list. So just make sure y'all watch that.
Okay.
It just came in this morning, so just kind of let y'all know about that.
And our bust this week for that game is going to be old Todd Gurley for the Falcons, because we've said it all year. Tampa Bay's run defense stops everybody.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I know Cook had a good week last week, had over 100 yards. I get it, but that's Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley's not Dalvin Cook anymore. He used to be 4 years ago. He's not that anymore. So, next game on the list, we got Detroit versus the Titans, and I'm wearing our boom. I'm wearing the boom this week.
That's right.
Yes, the mighty, mighty Titans. Don't mock me. Don't do it. Derrick Henry, the boom this week versus Detroit, because Detroit's ranked 32nd against the run for running backs this year. Yes.
I got a question for you. Next year in the draft, first pick overall, who are you taking? PPR. Who are you taking?
Well, it all depends. If McCaffrey's back at full strength, I think McCaffrey's still your number 1 PPR running back.
Really?
If he's back healthy. If he's not, it's gonna be number 22 out of Tennessee. He's gonna be a number 1 overall pick.
I think I would take him. I think even if McCaffrey's healthy.
Yeah.
I think
it'll be Henry, Cook, McCaffrey,
Kamara.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor will be a top 10 pick next year.
Well, think about this. You're gonna have McCaffrey. You're gonna have McCaffrey, Henry. You said Taylor. Taylor's probably gonna be in there too. Cook, Kamara. Sorry, I said those guys. Henry, McCaffrey, Barkley. Zeke will probably still be a top 10 pick, I bet, no matter, even though he's had a terrible year this year, because everybody's going to be like, oh, he didn't have his quarterback, so he'll probably be up there too as well. So think about all that talent you're going to have in the first 8 picks.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And I don't think there will be a receiver in the top 10. I think it'll be 10 running backs will be the first 10 picks.
And Mr. Robinson from Jacksonville, too. We forgot about him.
Oh, yeah. All right. And our bust this week in that game was going to be old, reliable number AP. Adrian Peterson's going to be your bust this week.
Yeah.
And it's hard to choose because both these defenses are horrible. The Tennessee rush defense is no better than Detroit. But we just think that Henry's going to be your boom and AP is going to be the bust. So on to the next game. We've got Houston versus Indianapolis. And we just talked about him. Our boom this week is going to be Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor. So look for him to have a great game against Houston. Looking at maybe 85 on the ground, 25 in the air. You think more than 85 on the ground?
He'll have 110 on the ground. Houston gives up 152 yards a game on the ground, rushing wise. And then
right, but you got to think, Indy uses 3 running backs. They got Nines and I forget the other kid.
You can take out Wilkinson. You can take him out. He's not even playing right now. It's just Hines and Taylor. And Taylor getting twice as many carries as Hines is right now. So I think Taylor will get 100 yards rushing easy. All
right. What do you think? 2 touchdowns, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground?
I say 100 and a touchdown. I think it depends on a game script. So I think 1 for sure, maybe 2. I think the way Phillip Rivers is playing right now, he's going to try to toss as many touchdowns as he can. So I think it's going to be frustrating for Taylor owners on that end of the spectrum, unless they get to like the 3-4 yard line, unless he busts out a huge run like he did last week. But yeah, it's going to be frustrating. But yeah, he might get 1 touchdown. I don't know about 2. It's going to be pushing it, or unless they're out to such a big lead where they're up like 14 points or 7 points, they just want to grind and just keep running, then maybe. But
yeah, you'll get a lot of garbage. If Indy's up by a lot, you'll get a lot of garbage points from Jonathan Taylor. So which garbage points still count?
Yeah, I
don't care.
I think if Indy's smart, they should try to do the most even pass to rush ratio possible. If it's 26-26, then I think that's probably where it should be. But knowing Indy and that coach, for whatever reason, it'll be like 40 passes to 8 rushes. It's just I don't understand. It's a weird script they always do. You can't rely on that guy to be consistent. So we'll see.
And our bust this game is going to be Mr. David Johnson out of Houston. He's not having a consistent year. It was a horrible trade. Just Indy has a very stout defense too. So don't look for David Johnson to have any. I mean, he'll give you some points, but it's going to be below what is projected. So
yeah, he's going to be such a touchdown reliant option this week. And Houston has the 32nd ranked rushing offense. So yeah, easy choice.
All right, we got Mr. Tyler. We'll give you our next 5.
Yeah, so we're going to go to a little bit of the later bracket here. We're going to talk about the Philly Eagles versus the Arizona Cardinals. I'm really looking forward to this matchup because I really want to see Kyler Murray versus Mr. Jalen. Is it Mr. Jalen Hurts? Hurts, thank you. I think it's going to be cool. I think they're going to try to one-up each other, so I'm really looking forward to that. So that brings me right into the boom. I think the boom this week is going to be Kyler Murray. It's literally a must-win for the Arizona Cardinals to stay in the playoff race. So I think he's going to come in. I think he's going to play his best game of the year. I know he's been hurt with his shoulder, but last week he showed signs of being able to play with it at a higher rate. He had more rushing yards. He actually rushed the ball last week, which is a great sign. So look for Kyler Murray to tear up the Eagles' defense this week. Look for him to get over 50 rushing yards, about 250 passing yards, a couple touchdowns in there, maybe a rushing touchdown. So look for the Arizona Cardinals to have a bounce-back week. And look for him to have a nice game. And also, a side note that Darius Slay, the cornerback for the Eagles, is still in concussion protocol. So he's not practiced yet. So that's going to be a huge advantage for Mr. D-Hop. So just pay attention to that and make sure you keep an eye on that for all you D-Hop owners. The bust this week is going to be Jalen Reagor for the fact that he's probably going to have Patrick Peterson on him. Yes, Martin.
I think it's the Philly tight ends that would be the bust.
You did say that. You're right.
Yeah. The Philly tight ends, the Arizona is ranked 5th against giving up the fifth least amount of points to tight ends this year. So Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz still doesn't look like Zach Ertz of old.
No.
Plus, I don't know what rapport he has with Jalen Hurts, but it's not the same he had with Carson Wentz.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So it's, you don't think about quarterback and tight ends having that great rapport, but it's true because they're tight ends are safety nets in most offenses. So with Jalen and Zach, it's not there like it was with Carson. So look, I feel he says REAGOR, I say the tight end, I say both Philly tight ends will be your bust this week. So
I mean, that's such a great call, Marty, and they're only one game into it, so we really don't know what kind of chemistry anybody's going to have on the Philly offense, really. My whole thought process behind Jalen REAGOR being the bust this week is he is their best, most consistent receiver right now on that team, as sad as that is to hear and as sad as that is to say. And they're going to have Patrick Peterson on him all day. So that is my philosophy behind that. So we do differ a little bit on that, which is not a big deal. But we're in the same boat with our thought process, which is awesome. So, but one thing I think Zach Ertz is a free agent at the end of this year, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Do you know?
I don't know. I try to stay away from anything Philly. So.
Yeah, I think he's a free agent this year, and if he's not, I mean, if they trade Carson Wentz, do you think? I mean, why not put Zach Ertz in that package?
Right.
I mean, why not? I mean, they don't want him anymore. They don't want to pay him. They got, Mr. Goddard. So I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I mean, nobody's gonna listen to my ideas, but I'm just throwing them out there, so it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good. So the next game we're gonna talk about is the college football team New York Jets against the pro team, the LA Rams. So this game is the booms and the busts. Like really, you could pick literally any Ram player for the boom, and for the bust, you could pick literally any Jets player. So that's what we're going to go with. If I had to pick a personal boom and bust, I would probably pick the Rams to be the biggest boom this game. The Rams defense, let me clarify that. So playing against the Jets this week, the Jets have I don't even say one of the worst. They have the worst offense in the league. They have literally no weapons. Their only two weapons this week are going to be blanketed by the Rams secondary. Jalen Ramsey is going to shut down whoever he wants to shut down. It doesn't even matter at this point. So, but yeah, just if you're going to the boom and the bust for the Jets, for the college football Jets and the pro LA Rams, so good luck if you have any of the Jets players. Just make sure you sit them all. The next game we're going to talk about is the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. Personally, this is the game I'm looking most forward to this week. The reports are that Drew Brees is going to come back this game, which is huge for the fact that it's going to be huge for Mr. Michael Thomas and Mr. Alvin Kamara. And those two guys, we spent early draft picks on those guys this year. So that right there is going to make a huge difference in your lineup, especially in the playoffs, especially if you survive without playing Michael Thomas basically the whole year. So, but with that being said, the boom for that game is going to be Alvin Kamara. So we think he's going to have a nice game. Even without Drew Brees, they're going to have to rely on him. They're going to have to run the ball a lot to slow down the Chiefs' offense. We did see some chinks in the Chiefs' armor last week with Patrick Mahomes throwing 3 interceptions against the Miami defense. The Saints' defense is even better. So maybe I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but there is a little bit of film on how to slow down Mahomes possibly. So, and the Saints will take full advantage of that because they are a very good defense. And also the bust for that game is going to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the fact that the Saints have the second best rushing defense in all the league. We saw last week the Phillies tore them up. That was an anomaly. That's not going to happen again. The Saints are going to fix it. They're going to get it right. So look for that to be a very nice game on both sides of the ball. It's going to be the game of the week. But yeah, so those are our booms and the busts for that game. The next game we're going to talk about is the Cleveland Dog Pound against the lonely New York Giants. Yeah, I did a dog bark for the Dog Pound. So, and if you all saw the game on Monday night, it was one of the best games of the year, if not the best game of the year so far. Cleveland and the Ravens went back and forth. They pounded it out. For whatever reason, Baker Mayfield wanted to throw the football out of the end zone the last play, which I don't know why, but it's all right. We won't talk about it too much. So, but this week, the boom for this game is going to be Mr. Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb has came back. He has run the ball with a vengeance. He is one of the most consistent running backs in the league. I'm going to say he's the second most consistent running back in the league behind that guy, Mr. Derrick Henry. So with that being said, his consistency is, yeah, that guy. With being so consistent like how he's been all year long, looking for him to keep it up. Look for him to get a touchdown this game. Probably get about at least 75 rushing yards and a touchdown. I think that's very fair to say against the Giants' rush defense. And the Giants do have one of the better rush defenses in the league. But I think that's a very fair to say, 75 yards and a touchdown. With that being said, on the flip side, the bust is going to be Mr. GALLMAN. We believe the reason why he's going to be a bust because it's going to be more of a game script that the Browns are going to get out to a big lead at the very beginning. They're going to run the ball. They're going to pound it. They're going to grind the clock down. With that being said, they're going to put the ball in either Daniel Jones' hands if he's feeling good enough to play, or Mr. Colt McCoy if Daniel Jones does not play. Daniel Jones is still iffy to play, so we'll see on that one. And the Giants receivers are I mean, they're bad. Like, there's no other way to put it. They're way below average. So it's just going to be a tough game if the Cleveland Browns get off to a big, huge, fast start on that game. And the last game we're going to talk about, the Monday night game, the final game of the week, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I know my colleague over here said that he believes Pittsburgh would not win one more game this year. I almost agree with him. This is the one game the rest of the year I believe they will win against the Cincinnati Bengals. So I don't think he looked at the schedule that far ahead. Cincinnati is a depleted team. They are a team basically kind of just holding it together. The Pittsburgh Steelers this week will have a nice week. They will pass the ball a lot. Last time Big Ben played these guys, he had 4 touchdowns and over 250 yards, so he had a very nice week. Expect the same things against the Bengals. Division rival, Big Ben just lost 2 games in a row. He's going to come out a little snarl. He's going to come out a little pissed off, so look for him to do nice things. So the boom, with all that being said, is going to be Deontay Johnson. He's had a case of the hiccups or the drops last couple weeks. He got benched. He fixed it. I think he's going to come out with a vengeance too. He's got something to prove. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. So look for Deontay Johnson to have a nice game. Now this one I'm going to say I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say he's going to have 8 catches, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say he's going to have a huge game because he's going to want to prove he's got a chip on his shoulder and he's going to come out a little pissed off, I feel like. And then with all that being said, the bus is going to be every single Cincinnati Bengal offensive player there is. So if you got any of them, Gio Bernard, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, whoever their quarterback is, just sit them all. Don't even waste your time. Don't put them in. It's going to be a tough matchup. The Steelers have the top defense in all the NFL, other than the Rams. So just don't waste your time whatsoever. So, anyways, those are all of our booms and all of our busts for this week. Thank you so much for listening to us and having to hear everything that we have to say. So please like, share, subscribe, add. Tell us to everybody you can. We are going to get better. We are going to improve. So we are just, trying to figure what works and what doesn't work. If you want to see different segments, if you want us to add on segments, for instance, like the top 10 red zone scoring offenses, the bottom 5, the top 10 offenses, who's got the most touchdowns this year, just let us know, because we would love to know what you want to know, all the information you want to get. And we're here for you, because we'll make videos to make sure you get exactly what you need.
Yes, yes, yes. And make sure you hit that bell icon right there in the bottom and get notified of all of our new videos that we post.
Yeah.
And yeah, good luck everybody this week in your playoffs. Hope you win and get that money.
That's right. Get that money. And just think, if you hit the bell icon, you might make even more money because you're going to be able to get all our videos. Just saying. But definitely, we're here to give you all a head start. We're all here to give you information that you have that nobody else will have in your league. So we do a lot of research. We do a lot of everything based off of stats and facts. And remember, always chase the yards. That is your most consistent way to have the best fantasy football team. The touchdowns will come. The catches will come. But always chase the yards. That is the main factor that will keep you above everybody else in your league. So, squad, I am Tyler, the uncool fool Greer, and I'm out.
And then Marty McFly, you have a wonderful, safe weekend.
That's right. And
we'll see you on the next one.
Enjoy the football games this weekend. I hope you all get the W. Take care.